right, hey there everybody. So today we're getting back to alphabetical order, but I am skipping over the two EQs, EQ8 and EQ3 for now. So we're going to jump right into Erosion. And Erosion I've used a few times on this quick sample track. So I used it once on the drums here. I used this preset called Wide and Dirty. And I think I might have brought the amount down a little bit. But it just gives the drums a really nice sound. Let's give that a listen. Without. Sounds much more just like a plain drum machine, but this gets it very crunchy. And I've got a few other things going on here as well. Let's see. And I'm also using it here on the muted strat sound, and I have it modulated by a couple of Max for Live LFOs. As you can see, it's constantly moving, and this is what that sounds like. Let me take off the delay and reverb just so that it's a little bit more of a straightforward sound. And if we take the erosion off, it still sounds pretty good. But erosion just adds some extra interesting character. And then, let's see. Oh, I've used it also on these E-Bode guitars. I'm using an amp sim to get this guitar nice and distorted. But the erosion just adds some dirt and grit to it. So let's hear what it sounds like without, and then we'll add it in. Pretty subtle, honestly. To me, it just feels like it grits it up a little bit more. And then finally, I have a little bit of automation using this preset again. It's called Snores here on the master. And if you look at the automation, it's affecting everything right here. So you can hear when things drop out, the automation brings the amount from 10 all the way up to 200 before dropping down abruptly again. So it has this cool effect. So yeah, that's about what it sounds like. So let's use the muted strat here, and we'll mute this edition and this, and we don't need these LFOs going. But let's just drop a fresh copy of Erosion in. We'll put it right here, and just listen to how it affects the sound. So again, with it off, this is what we're going to hear. And then we can kick it on. And basically, you see we've got a few options here. We've got 3 modes: noise, wide noise, and sine. You'll notice with noise and wide noise, we have kind of a bandwidth control here. And then sine, we just have this XY pad. And as you can see, when I move the XY pad around, I'm controlling the amount. And the amount sets the amount of modulation. The way that erosion works is basically it's degrading the signal that's going through it by modulating a short delay with either filtered noise, which noise and wide noise use, or a sine wave. And it results in this really digital distortion kind of sound. And if that's what you're going for, it's really useful. So amount, as we turn it up, this is the y-axis. It's basically just how much distortion we're bringing in, how much modulation we're bringing in. And then frequency on the x-axis kind of it lets us color that distortion. So let's just kind of play with those two and use the XY with it set to sine mode and see how that sounds. So you can kind of get the character there. Let's also listen to what noise mode does, because it's a bit of a different sound. So I'll actually start with sine, which we're now used to, and then switch it over to noise halfway through. Now with noise, we have a third control. When we were on sine mode, this was grayed out, but if we go over to noise mode, we now have the width control. And now, in combination with the frequency control, width control is going to help us kind of adjust the color of it. And what width is doing, it's defining the noise bandwidth, like a Q or a resonance control on an EQ. So let's play with that as well. And then the last mode that we have is wide noise mode. Noise and wide noise mode are almost the same. The only difference is that in wide noise mode, individual noise generators are used for the left and right channel of the signal. So this kind of results in some non-linearities in each channel, which can make things sound wider. It gives some stereo enhancement. So let's listen to what that sounds like. We'll start with noise and then switch over. Compare that to so yeah, right there, that wide noise mode is just adding a little bit of stereo for you. But really, that's about it for this plugin. It's a pretty straightforward, simple one. But if digital distortion is the sound you need, this is definitely a good place to go. I liked everything that it did in this track, but in particular, I started out with this 909 core kit, and just being able to go from a sound like this. Oh, well, let me start with it off. And then getting it into this territory. Well, that's just a beautiful thing. So anyway, next time we're probably going to jump over to filter delay. I do know also that there are a couple kind of new ones that we need to talk about that were not in Ableton Live 9 but are in 10. So we need to take a look at channel EQ, and we also need to look at delay that has kind of been updated, drum bus, and echo. So we might loop back around to those, but I'm thinking filter delay, which I really like a lot, will be the next one. But as always, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. But until next time, have a good one.